Nowadays, due to the pandemic, our screen time, or the time we spent scrolling through our phones or in front of our laptops and TVs, have dramatically increased. And in turn, many aspects of our health has dropped down. And for today's video, we're going to explore some actions that can make us healthy when we are weak. I think the most important thing to address right now is our inactivity. Experts even say that sitting is the new smoking. And because of this sedentary lifestyle brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, more Filipinos are suffering from cardiovascular diseases and diabetes, which remains to be the leading cause of death in the country. In a recent media briefing by the Philippine Heart Association, they raised an alarm over the increasing cases of these lethal diseases. And there's even statistics that says 67% of Filipinos says that they move less. If you're worried about your risk of developing these cardiovascular diseases, I've linked in the description below a free assessment you can take. Now, regardless of whether you are at risk for a cardiovascular disease or not, it is always better that you perform exercises. Not only is it good for your body, but it also has benefits on your mind and your emotional states, as it also induces feel-good chemicals. If you are weak and hates the idea or has no money to go to the gym and doesn't like to go outside for a jog or walk, here are some simple things you can do. Whenever you are in front of your TV or laptop and watching your favorite movies or series, what you can do is try to do some lightweight exercises. For example, you can stretch, jog, or probably do some sit-ups. And here's a really simple one. You can practice deep breathing. This actually helps bring your stress levels down and also reduces your risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. An easy way to do it is to breathe through your nostrils, alternating sides. Here's how, right? So close your right nostrils and breathe in using your left nostrils. Then allow the air to occupy your lungs and contract your abdomen. When you exhale, close your left nostrils and give out air on the right. Repeat the process for at least 5 minutes whenever you want to. Now, if you want to top it up a notch, you can do yoga in the morning. I find that yoga are really good exercises, especially they are less stressful or requires less energy, and sometimes actually relaxing. You can even do it without an equipment or a yoga mat, although I think yoga mat costs around 100 peso in Shopee and Lazada. And if you are worried about the steps to yoga, there's actually basic routines you can do called like sun salutations. And if you want me to do a tutorial for it, let me know in the comments. And lastly, I've actually started on this just a few days ago, and I know exercises can be boring, and so you want to have fun while doing it. And some people do this Zumbas, but what I did is I tried to learn K-pop dances and get my daily boost of sweat and endorphins from it. Now, to sustain our exercise goals, we need to have energy, and the main way to get energy is to eat. According to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, proper nutrition is actually more important than physical activity. Your physique is 80% what you eat and just 20% of your physical activity. This brings me back to a funny story. The main reason why I started to like exercises and stuff was actually because of this dreadful belly fat. And so I started doing sit-ups, like jogging and like planking. And then 1 month in that regime, there's actually no difference. Or I think there was a difference. The belly fat actually grew larger than it was before. And you wanna know why? Because after workout, I feel so hungry that I eat twice the amount of rice than usual. I noticed this one time. So, nagtagipid kami. And then, walang masyadong kumain. And I lose more kilograms on those like weeks than I did when I was doing the exercises. And after that, I kind of focused on my eating habits. But since I'm not like really fond of cooking, well, not technically cooking, but like the steps before it, like going to palengke, buying the stuff that you need to cook, and then preparing it. I just think that it's so time consuming, and so I search for like alternatives to how I can kind of still eat healthy with less like time. And so of course the idea of like ordering online came to my mind. But then like ordering from fast food and other kind of restaurants are not really the efficient way to do it. And so I came across this like meal subscriptions. It's cool because they'll deliver healthy like breakfast, lunch, and snack, and even dinner according to what your body needs. And so hindi ka na problema and healthy ka pa. I also learned then that what you need to eat will actually depends on your BMI and your lifestyle. And some of the websites for like that meal subscription actually offers like calculators and assessments to kind of determine how many calories should you take every single day or every single meal. Now, if you want to kind of calculate your BMI yourself, here's how. Now, some of you might want to prepare your own meals, so you know like what kind of ingredients used for it, how it's prepared, and so on. And if you're one of those people who are unsure or always thinking about what to prepare like the next day or the next meal, you can resort to cookbooks, or even better. Did you know that the Food and Nutrition Research Institute actually have meal plans for Filipino families that you can use as your guide? I'll put the link on the meal planner on the description as well. We all know that health encompasses a lot of different aspects, and if not addressed, this can be detrimental to our health or can cause sickness and stuff, such as emotional state. For example, have you ever heard of anyone that kind of like had a heart attack, or that their body kind of not functioned well because of like a heavy emotional burden or stress? And that is why you have to take care of your heart or your emotions. Each of us has our own way of dealing with our emotions, and eating good food and sleeping can have great benefits. But if you want to address your emotions directly, when you are feeling negative emotions, instead of lashing out to other people, you have to become more self-aware. So you can try stepping back for a bit, do some breathing exercises, and it also helps if you try to count. I think this was demonstrated in like a Tinkerbell episode, in which like I think that's a head fairy that was kind of angry by something Tinkerbell did, and so she kind of like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to calm herself down. I know that's easier said than done, and so I've also come prepared with other things or kind of hacks to help yourself calm down. One of the first one is called the butterfly hug. What I'll link the description below, like the tutorial on how to do it. But essentially, you're kind of like you're gonna put your hands together like this, and then put it on your chest, or you could actually do like something as well. And then as you breathe, you have to tap your shoulders alternately. And the next one is called acupoint simulation. This is sort of like tapping some places in your body to help you calm down. For example, if you are angry, you can try kind of tapping some points in here to calm yourself. And I'll also put in the description below how you can do that. But with this too, you could actually accompany it with like a positive affirmation or some mantras to calm yourself down. And my favorite mantra is everything will be okay if you are okay with everything. Afterwards, once your emotion has subsided, ask and understand why you felt that way, and how you can better react, and how you can better communicate your emotions to other people. Just a tip. Yeah, I know some people are like afraid of kind of like speaking up for themselves because they fear that they might offend the other person. But in my opinion, I think that you can say anything to anyone as long as you do it with respect. Now, if you're chronically not feeling good or like feeling sad, you could actually listen to like some songs that can pump you up, or songs with binaural beats. There's thousands of playlists to listen to in YouTube with like the binaural beats. So you can type that on your YouTube search bar and listen. Socializing or talking to a trustworthy friend can also be helpful, but if you don't have one, you can take advantage of the so-called emotional trash cans, such as your journals, to help you process your emotions better. And my favorite is to watch your comfort movies or series. Watch is okay to not be okay if you haven't yet. Meditation has great benefits on your emotional and mental health, but I kind of think of it as like a spiritual thing, because when I am meditating, it's sort of like a state where I'm also praying. If you've never meditated before, how it feels like is like
kind of like letting go of everything and just focusing on your body and your surroundings. And it also has great benefits on making you more mindful and calm. Sometimes when I'm meditating, I also use the time to go through some unresolved emotional or mental issues and kind of like replay that on my mind, and so that when that something happens again, I kind of have an idea on how to respond. And here are some beginner steps to continue to meditate. First, sit upright and comfortably. Breathe deeply. Gently close your eyes. Slowly scan your body and notice any sensations. Be aware of any thoughts that you are having. And when your mind wanders, focus on your breath. And then gently open your eyes when you are ready. So if you're a beginner, just try to do it for like 5 to 10 and then kind of like increase it as you go along the way. And lastly, big brain time. If you really can't bring yourself to work out, schedule some time to work out one of the most essential muscle in your body, which is your brain. Your mental well-being is equally as important as your physical health. And the good news is you can work this muscle from the comfort of your own couch. According to research, frequently completing activities that stimulate your mind can reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's. So instead of turning the TV, read a book, complete a Sudoku, or do a crossword instead. Now, our brain and body can also benefit from a long sound sleep. I'm not really sure where to put sleep since it has great effects on all states of our health, but I decided to put it under the mental state because you'll find that when you have little to no sleep, you are more easily irritated, more forgetful, and can focus properly, which I often feel. So I can stress enough the importance of having a good 6 to 8 hours sleep. Speaking of, it's already 7 a.m.
And for someone like me who works on graveyard shift, it's time to go to bed. Now, watch out for my next video where I'll discuss how you can be financially independent when you are poor.